Hi guys, picked this little fella up in a charity shop. Can't remember how much, I think it was 99 pence. Chico brand, radio controlled, and the batteries are horribly corroded. So although it was labelled, whatever it was labelled, actually I think it was labelled £1.25. But the guy gave it to me for free. He said you might as well have that, looking at those batteries. So it was free. My plan is to convert it to hobby grade just for a bit of fun, but in the meantime we'll just see if we can actually get it running. I'll get these out and see if we can connect a battery up and see if any of my radio control transmitters or whatever will actually run it. I've had trouble with Chico in the past trying to get any of my existing transmitters to match them. So anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws. I've got about 2 minutes before my tea is ready, so we'll just see if we can get the cover off. Before my wife tells me it's tea time. Oh, you might be able to hear that beep. That's the alarm on the on the cooker. The alarm on the cooker to let us know that dinner is ready. Probably find there's some screws hidden under those batteries. Is our tea ready, Nanny? No. No? Another quarter of an hour? Oh wow. Okay, that's good. I'll do a bit more. Oh, that's handy. Right, that's very handy. That's the receiver up in there, plug-ended. Speaker on the back, so it obviously makes some sort of noise as it goes along. LEDs. Yeah. Right, looking at that receiver, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but it's got 49, 40 and 27, and it looks like they put the paint splodge in the 40 megahertz. So we might have a look, see if we can get it to run on 40 megahertz. And here, that motor there is the one that's doing the steering. And that motor there, which looks like a reasonable size, is the one that drives the back wheels. And just there we've got the on-off switch. That's a nice little separate unit, isn't it? I have to zoom in on this just so we can have a look, but it is labelled. Zoom in. Pointy thing. So it's labelled G for ground, or negative as I would have said. And we got RL for right and left, FB for forwards backwards, and V for voltage, which is the positive. I like that. This will be interesting to do a complete teardown on at some time. But what we'll do first, I'll go and get some connectors and see if we can do a temporary connection for a battery, and then we can see if the receiver works, or if the receiver matches anything that I've got. Right, first thing we'll do is pop those dead batteries out. They're so corroded they're actually sticking to the springs. Yeah, springs are broken. Okay. I've rigged up a temporary battery feed into the car, plugged it all back in again, and none of my bag of 40 megahertz transmitters match that receiver. And I also tried a couple of 27 just in case, and the 49 just in case. So I have had this problem before with Chico brand. They seem to have some different setup that the other people don't use. So the next step, just so we can check that the running gear works, is I've got a receiver here, standard toy grade, that I've modified in the past to use JST leads to connect it into other cars. So I can run it off a LiPo battery. That one's just a 1S. I think I can take a 2S on here. I need to put JST leads, solder them directly onto the batteries, onto the motors. Get that right. So I'll just solder them on there and down on there. And then we should be able to drive that using that little toy grade receiver, just so we can check steering works and drive works. What we won't get is the sound effects that are clearly part of that circuit board, receiver board. I might take it out in a minute just so we can see. There'll be a black blob, I should think, on the other side, or in fact I can see just there. I don't think the camera will pick it up, but there's a little daughter board plugged into the side of the main board there, and I think that's the one that does all the sound effects. So we'll do that in a second. So what we'll do is put these JST connectors straight on the motors, so we can actually connect up this temporary receiver, just so we can check it runs. So we won't need the top half of the body at all. We won't need those dead batteries either. Right, can we actually reach this easily? Yeah, looks like we can. We can get at least one of them. The other one doesn't want to come off easily. Okay, have to cut that. I'm just very mean. I don't like to waste anything if I can avoid it. Oh, that one came straight off, so that wasn't very well soldered. Okay. Same on the other end. I'm going to have to turn that slightly so I can get to it. Or at least I can get to it so you can see what I'm doing. Well, right. In fact, I might as well unscrew that because we're not going to use it. That one's too big. Because remember, the plan now is to make this hobby grade. Shame, because we won't be able to use the sound effects, which would have been fun. Right, we won't really know which way round to connect them until we've tried it out. I'll be mean and reuse their bit of heat shrink. Getting very short of solder. I did buy some more from China and it was rubbish. So I'll have to buy some more at some time. Just go straight on there for now, and we'll leave it open so we can actually reverse it if we've got it going backwards. How can I balance this so you can see what I'm doing? Not going to stay there? Yeah, it might do. Just pop this on. Okay, that should do as a temporary fix. So this one a look. Does this tell us? That says F and B for forwards and backwards, so that'll be that one. So that'll be left and right. We need a battery. We'll just try the 1S first of all. Okay, well, for this controller, I've got it the wrong way round, but I've got the left and right the right way round. Okay, so I'll just swap those wires over. Again, this is still only temporary because we're going to do this hobby grade in a minute. Well, I say in a minute. It's now just coming up to 1 o'clock in the morning. I think we'll just go this far and then we'll do it properly tomorrow. So that's our aerial. Tuck it in there somewhere. So, oh, plug that back in again, might help. Okay, looks like we have something. So, let's see it on the floor. We had wheel spin then. Because it hasn't got the body weight on there, so it's going to be a bit light, isn't it? So backwards, right, so it works. So we've swapped the receiver for one that actually works. That is a fairly common question I get. What can I do because I've lost my controller? Well, if you can find another receiver and controller that match, you can swap them over. The drive motor wires are labelled F and B, F for forwards, B for backwards, and the steering motor is labelled L and R for left and right. Usually, not always, but usually. Sometimes they're labelled M1 and M2 for motor 1 and motor 2. But this one's labelled L and R and F and B. I suppose I could just drop this on top. So we can see what it should look like. Yeah, so there we go. A quick fix, but we've lost the sound effects and the LEDs. Thanks for watching. You'll find more information down in the video description. You might like to watch that video up there, and you might like to subscribe over there.